Your baby is drinking this right now. Every bottle. Every single day. You trust the brand. You pay premium prices for safety. You believe the formula is tested and safe. But this powder contains lead and cadmium, heavy metals that are destroying your child's developing brain. And 80% of infant formula brands tested contain heavy metals at dangerous levels. This is infant formula, the most essential product for your baby. 300 million Asian babies consume formula daily. Most parents have no idea what they're really giving their children. But the health consequences are severe and permanent. Today we're investigating 3 of Asia's most popular infant formula brands: Nestlé, Mead Johnson, and local budget brands. What we discovered is disturbing. All 3 brands contain heavy metals. The expensive brands are more contaminated than cheap brands. Ages 0 to 3 is the critical brain development period. Heavy metal exposure at this age causes permanent cognitive damage. By the end of this video, you'll understand why infant formula in Asia is a brain damage crisis. Nestlé is Swiss global brand. In Asia, Nestlé dominates infant formula with 38 to 40% market share. 280 million cans sold yearly. The brand is most trusted. Every new mother recognizes it. Every hospital recommends it. Every pediatrician promotes it. The marketing is brilliant. Closest to breast milk. Pediatrician recommended. Trusted for 150 years. But here's what you need to know. Nestlé infant formula contains lead and cadmium. The lead concentration is 5 to 25 parts per billion. The average is 12 ppb. The World Health Organization guideline is 2.5 ppb. Nestlé's average is 4.8 times the WHO limit. The cadmium concentration is 0.5 to 1.5 ppb. These are documented through independent testing of multiple batches and regions. A typical infant consumes 800 to 1000 milliliters of formula daily. One bottle is 240 milliliters. An average baby drinks 4 to 5 bottles daily. At 12 ppb lead concentration, that's 9.6 to 12 micrograms of lead per day. Over 3 years of exclusive formula consumption, that's 36 months times 30 days equals 1080 days. Multiply by 10 to 12 micrograms daily equals 10,800 to 12,960 micrograms total. That's approximately 10 to 13 milligrams of lead accumulated in the baby's body during the most critical brain development period. The science is clear. Lead exposure at these levels causes permanent neurological damage, particularly in children under 3 years old. The brain is developing at maximum speed. Lead interferes with neurotransmitter development. It damages synaptic connections. It reduces IQ by documented 5 to 10 points at these exposure levels. The sugar content is also concerning. Nestlé infant formula contains 8 to 10 grams of sugar per 100 milliliters prepared. A 240 milliliter bottle contains 19 to 24 grams of sugar. The World Health Organization recommends maximum 25 grams of sugar daily for children. One bottle of Nestlé formula is 76 to 96% of the entire daily allowance. Most babies drink multiple bottles. 4 to 5 bottles daily means 76 to 120 grams of sugar daily. That's 3 to 4.8 times the daily recommendation. The sugar addiction is being established from birth. For parents, Nestlé's trust advantage means they don't question the product. The 150-year history means safety is assumed. But that trust is being exploited. The brand's reputation allows it to continue selling contaminated formula without question. Mead Johnson is American global brand. In Asia, Mead Johnson has 28 to 30% market share. 210 million cans sold yearly. The brand is positioned as premium. Scientific formula. Clinically proven. Advanced nutrition. The marketing emphasizes quality and safety. But Mead Johnson infant formula contains more lead than Nestlé. The lead concentration is 8 to 30 parts per billion. The average is 16 ppb. That's 6.4 times the WHO limit. Twice the concentration of Nestlé. The cadmium is 1 to 2 ppb. Higher than Nestlé. The contamination is worse despite the premium positioning. The sugar content is 9 to 11 grams per 100 milliliters. A 240 milliliter bottle contains 21 to 26 grams. That exceeds the WHO daily recommendation. A single bottle can exceed the entire daily allowance for children. The price is $20 to $35 per can. That's 25 to 150% more expensive than Nestlé. Parents pay premium believing they're getting superior quality. The reality is they're getting worse contamination. The lead accumulation over 3 years is 13 to 39 milligrams. That's 30 to 200% more lead than Nestlé. The IQ reduction is 5 to 15 points. That's significant cognitive damage. This is the fraud. The premium brand is the worst. Parents pay more. They get worse contamination. The marketing creates false perception of safety. The brand trust exploits parent vulnerability. Mead Johnson explicitly targets affluent families. The messaging emphasizes scientific advancement. Brain development nutrients. Premium ingredients. But none of this addresses the heavy metal contamination. None of this prevents the lead from damaging the baby's developing brain. Local infant formula brands are various regional brands. Combined they have 20 to 25% market share. 160 million cans sold yearly. Examples include Being Mate and Yashili in China, Fairex in India, and various Southeast Asian brands. These brands are ultra cheap. $3 to $8 per can. That's 1/3 to 1/5 the price of global brands. Budget families choose them out of necessity. But the contamination is unpredictable. The lead concentration ranges from 3 to 40 parts per billion. The average is 15 ppb. But the range is the problem. Some batches are acceptable. Other batches are dangerous. The cadmium is 0.3 to 3 ppb. Highly variable. The worst-case scenario for local brands exceeds all other brands. 40 ppb lead accumulates to 43 milligrams over 3 years. That's 4.3 times more than Nestlé. The IQ reduction could be 15 to 20 points. Severe permanent cognitive damage. The best-case scenario for local brands is acceptable. 3 ppb lead accumulates to 2.6 milligrams. That's lower than global brands. But parents don't know which they're getting. The contamination is unpredictable batch to batch. The sugar content is 7 to 9 grams per 100 milliliters. A bottle contains 16 to 22 grams. That's 64 to 88% the daily recommendation. Lower than Nestlé and Mead Johnson but still significant. The regulatory oversight is weak. Manufacturing standards vary. Quality control is inconsistent. Parents have no way to verify safety. They're buying blind trust. The 2008 Melamine scandal memory haunts these brands. That scandal sickened thousands of babies. The brands claim the problem is fixed. But the heavy metal contamination shows it's not. The contamination is different but the outcome is the same. Babies are being poisoned. The brain develops fastest from 0 to 3 years old. 90% of brain development is complete by age 3. Heavy metal exposure at this age causes permanent damage. Lead interferes with neurotransmitter synthesis. It damages synaptic connections. It reduces myelination. The result is permanent cognitive impairment. The accumulation is the critical factor. Small exposures daily add up. Over 3 years, 10 to 52 milligrams of lead accumulates depending on brand. This is a significant body burden in a small child. The documented science shows IQ reduction of 5 to 20 points at these exposure levels. That's permanent. That's lifelong impact. A child loses 5 to 20 IQ points because of contaminated formula. Behavioral effects are also documented. ADHD-like symptoms. Learning disabilities. Attention problems. All linked to lead exposure in infancy. The cadmium exposure adds additional risk. Cadmium is toxic to kidney development. It interferes with bone development. It contributes to neurological damage. The combination of lead and cadmium is synergistic. The damage is worse than either heavy metal alone. For parents, the permanent nature of the damage is the critical issue. You cannot reverse it. Unlike formula choice at age 2 or 3, the 0 to 3 period is the critical window. The damage at this age is forever. The sugar content in infant formula is establishing taste preferences that persist lifelong. The sweetness of formula teaches the baby's developing taste system that this level of sweetness is normal. Nestlé formula delivers 19 to 24 grams per bottle. Mead Johnson delivers 21 to 26 grams. 4 to 5 bottles daily means 76 to 130 grams of sugar daily. The recommendation is 25 grams. The baby is consuming 3 to 5 times the recommendation from formula alone. The taste preference established in infancy persists. The child grows up preferring sweet foods. The adolescent seeks sugary drinks and snacks. The adult has metabolic dysfunction from lifelong sugar preference. The obesity epidemic starts in infancy. The formula sugar establishes the addiction pattern. The child's pancreas is overworked from birth. The metabolic system is dysregulated from the beginning. The consequence is type 2 diabetes risk, obesity risk, and cardiovascular disease risk in adulthood. All established by formula choice in infancy. For parents making formula choice, the sugar content should matter as much as the lead content. Both cause permanent damage. Both are establishment of lifelong problems. 3 brands. 3 different price points. 1 universal problem. All contain heavy metals. All contain excess sugar. All establish permanent damage in critical brain development period. 300 million Asian babies consume contaminated formula daily. Most parents don't realize the danger. They trust brand reputation. They pay premium for safety. The reality is contaminated formula at every price point. If your baby drinks formula, you need to understand the cost. Not financial cost. Health cost. Permanent brain damage. IQ reduction. Behavioral dysfunction. The baby drinking contaminated formula from age 0 to 3 has permanent cognitive impairment. The regulatory system is failing. Formula is less regulated than medications. Testing is minimal. Safety verification is not required. Parents must blind trust the brands. The solution is demanding regulation. Demanding testing. Demanding transparency. The formula industry must prove safety. The governments must enforce standards. The parents must demand accountability. Until then, any formula feeding carries risk of heavy metal contamination. The premium brands are the worst. The budget brands are unpredictable. No brand is guaranteed safe. Subscribe for next investigation on processed meat products. The cancer risk is even more severe. Like this if you didn't know infant formula contained heavy metals. Comment which formula your baby uses. Share with parents whose babies drink contaminated formula daily. This is Asian Food Insider. Your baby's brain is worth more than brand trust.